Talk about the impact of Chinese New Year on Etsy dropshipping, and please give me advice on navigating it. So normally what I would say is, if you're a complete beginner, don't worry about it too much. Just extend your shipping times, maybe a week and a half. If you are already doing good numbers, let's say you're doing like $3,000, like if you're doing, it's like I say good numbers, but it's like very subjective. I don't know. Let's say you're doing all right? Let's just say you've done 1,000 orders total. Just speak to your warehouse and just understand and just ask them, right? Just literally just ask them, and they'll understand everything, right? Like, yeah, just say like how long your warehouse closed, what would be the rough delay. Normally they're gonna probably lie to you a little bit, or just be a little bit blurry with the truth. They may say, oh, we're closed down for a week, but they won't tell you that there'll be delays after the week, because they're still going to get orders in the week. So there'll be like a 3, 4, 5 day delay after the week. So it's like, yeah, just speak to them, bro. Literally just speak to them is the best way to do it. If you're a beginner, just extend your shipping time like 1 or 2 weeks. It's not that fucking deep, to be honest. Like, yeah, it's not that deep. The reason why I'm just like, it's because so many people ask me it, and it's not scary. What are my plans for Chinese New Year? Most of the factories we work with are only closed for a week, so just extend shipping time for a week. And also, we've actually increased the bulk stock we have in the warehouses because of Chinese New Year. We're gonna print, like, most of you guys, 99% of you guys don't have bulk stock, but when you have bulk stock, it's good season, boys. Good season. How do I have multiple stores using the same name, bank details, or do I have to use different names? Different names, different cards is what I would always recommend, bro. I have an Etsy account selling digital items, but I'm looking to make a new account for POD. How's the process? Can I use my name, or do you need someone else's? So to be as safe as humanly possible, use someone else's. So what I would do is use a bit, I would honestly go look at my most recent video. That's a good guide. I have a couple other guides on my channel as well. If you sort on my channel based upon the most popular videos, that will give you a good guide. But to make a secondary account, normally you're going to want to use like a friend or family member's information with their legal consent, with their consent. Doesn't mean legal consent, but with their consent. And you're going to want to use 2 things. So it's called ads power and proxies. It sounds scary, probably looks scary, but it's not scary. It's super, super easy to use, okay? So when you use that, it's basically what you don't want to happen is you don't want to have one store and then another store and then be connected. And if they're connected and there was an issue with one store, it's going to ruin your other one. You want them to be insulated, okay? So use ads power, do a bit of research around that. Honestly, it's very, very simple. And get proxies as well. So a proxy is basically a fancy technical term for a VPN, but don't use a VPN. But that's basically what it is. It just masks your unique identifier for your Wi-Fi. Simplest way to put it. I'm getting it from China. Do I just tell them, don't put your company stuff in, like, it won't it sound rude? Bro, Chinese dons don't care about that, bro. Like, Chinese donnies don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care about that. Just say, they understand what you're doing. Just say you want blind shipping. That's normally what they'll understand, is like blind shipping. You want no labels, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's what I would say. Hey Craig, you running Facebook ads profitably at the moment? Yeah, for all of our ecom brands, yeah, obviously. Ecom ads, basically, Facebook and Instagram is my speciality. They work super, super, super well. But not for the Etsy stuff, by the way, just to clarify. I'm not running I do run a little bit of Facebook and Instagram ads, but just link click, just to kind of boost up the stores a little bit right in the beginning. But yeah, not much, you know. When to start ads, number of products. I don't care if I lose $50. I want sales under my belt. When to start ads? Bro, start ads as soon as you can start ads. So there's a barrier on Etsy to, you can't start ads in the first 15 days. Bro, by the 15th day, you'll have probably at least 10 products live. Start ads, $5 a day. You want to start ads and you want to run ads at a minimum of 0.5 cent per listing. Okay, so let's say you have 100 listings in your store, $50 minimum. If you have 20 listings on your store, $10 minimum. Okay. Hey Craig, any advice on starting multiple stores, bank info, the free advice until I join EK? To be honest, with the multiple store stuff, like, there's so much information that I just can't really say. So it really is just, you want to change as much details as possible. This is what I say to everyone. You want to change as much details as possible and keep everything separate as humanly possible. So yeah, that's what you want to do basically. Like, you just want to change it. And then obviously, as I mentioned, ads power, blah, blah, blah. Factory delay is the worst one, especially for personalized products. Yeah, it is. Obviously it's fucking annoying. It's super inconvenient, but it's just part of the game, right? Part of the game. It's part of what you've got to do to just get to the next position. So part of it, you know. How do you have hundreds of different stores? Have you used hundreds of different your friends' cards and names? There's extra methods we talk about. inside of Etsy Kings. Yeah, bro, I've made like 350 stores, maybe even 400 at this point, because we're opening more stores right now. Is it necessary to set up an LLC for opening up another Etsy store? It's not necessary, but it's a good thing to do it to keep it separate. I don't fully understand the question. Is there any questions from tax authorities when you are getting sent a shit ton of money from 5 different online banks? I'm literally making monthly wage in my country every day. So there probably will be, yeah. Not tax authority, but more from the bank. Normally tax authorities will take a bit of time to realize, but it's more from your bank that you'll have questions. But yeah, bro, like honestly, my advice to anyone that is earning good money right now with Etsy dropshipping is, obviously we have all this information inside of Etsy Kings, and we have accountants and stuff like this that I can direct you to when you're inside of Etsy Kings. But just go speak to an accountant, bro. Go speak to an accountant. Like so really what you want to do, I would just go get like just go speak to an accountant that's local to you. Just literally just go speak to them. Say, this is what I'm doing. You don't have to pay them. Normally they won't charge you for a consultation because you're just explaining, and they're explaining roughly what they can do for you, right? So they're not going to charge you for that normally. And they're not going to charge you for that because you're not really seeking advice. You're just more saying like, are you able to help me? And they're saying, yes, we can. But you want to really know if they have previous experience of e-commerce companies that sell internationally, because there's certain things you want to get around with, and certain things you can benefit from. That makes sense. I think that does make sense. Hopefully it does make sense. What's Ads Power, please, so I can look into it regarding the proxies? It's something that a person buys online. So Ads Power is a piece of software that allows you to open up multiple Etsy stores, but keeps them separate, because there's a lot of things that Etsy tracks, but there's 2 things that Ads Power and proxy solve. So IP, when you connect to you can Google right now, right? So if you turn off Wi-Fi on your phone and you turn on your mobile data and Google what's my IP, and then you go into your computer, Google. Sorry, it's good explanation, good way to describe it. So if you take your mobile phone, you're on Wi-Fi right now. Let's say you're on Wi-Fi, you're connected to Wi-Fi. Google what's my IP. You turn off Wi-Fi, turn on mobile hotspot. You Google again what's my IP. The 2 numbers will be different. So it's a unique identifier for your mobile connection, for your Wi-Fi connection, right? So that's one thing. People can track that. Websites track that. Facebook tracks that. Every single website tracks that. They know what your IP is, right? Even if you come onto one of my websites, I know what your fucking IP is, okay? So there's that part of it, but there's also MAC address. So MAC addresses and also management of the whole system is what Ads Power helps you with, okay? Basically, Ads Power, ADS Power. Just Google it, get it, understand it a little bit. It's very, very simple. It looks complicated, but most of the settings you don't even touch. Ideal number of listings to store to hit 100K, and Etsy as a must. 100K in what time period is such a... I don't know, bro. Most of my stores, 150, 175 average listings. And they do 30 to 50K revenue every single month. All of them are over 6 figures at this point. Like, of the good ones. Not my baby ones, but my good ones, right? The ones that have been running for longer than like 9 months. Etsy ads are must to run. So the thing is, when people ask this question, it's normally because they're broke, or they don't want to spend money, or they're in a 3rd world country. Etsy ads are just going to speed up your process, because the reason why I recommend to run ads is because you test products much quicker and you get more momentum on your store quicker. Me personally, I do a lot of pure organic right in the beginning, but for beginners, I do not recommend that, because you can list 200 products and maybe only get 10 sales, right? It's going to take a lot of time for Etsy to give you that traffic. Whereas if you just speed up the process by spending $50, $100 on ads, you're going to understand things much quicker. You're going to get to profitability much quicker. So if you go the organic route, maybe it'll take you, I don't even know. Maybe it'll take you a year to reach 10K because it's testing and you're not that motivated because you're not making that much money. Not even 10K, maybe it'll take you a year to make 5K revenue, right? Because you're not motivated, you're not paying attention because you're not getting the orders. Whereas if you run ads, you can make 500K in a year because you're really motivated. Then you're getting more and more sales, the more and more work you put in, and it's quick and it's quick and it's quick and it's quick, and you're getting the dopamine and you love it. All right, make sense? That's why a lot of people quit with Shopify dropshipping, and that's why I don't recommend Shopify dropshipping for a beginner, is because it's so hard to get the first few sales and so hard to figure it out. Most people quit. That's the biggest thing, right? Etsy has its cons and its pros. So does Shopify dropshipping. So does every single business in the world. But the thing is, a lot of people give up before they reach greatness. And that's why Etsy's super good, because you get the initial sales, you get the initial traction very quickly if you're doing the right things. Bro said you worked 3 hours in the warehouse, 12 hours a day. What did you do? So it's my warehouse. So I was, obviously, I have an office in the warehouse. So I was most of the time at the office, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't really 3 years. It was like, I don't know. Yeah, basically that. But we had an office in the warehouse. So sometimes I'd be in the office. Sometimes I'd be in the warehouse managing the warehouse staff until we employed a manager. Sometimes I'd be helping with the stuff. If we're really, really busy, it's pointless for me to be on the computer trying to get more orders when we've got a week backlog. So I'll go fucking help shipping out orders. To be honest, I love that shit, right? So, like, I love shipping out orders. I love packaging orders. Like, I love that shit so much. It's so, I don't know, it's silly, but I do love that shit so much. So, it's because my warehouse is my items. I know every item I'm packaging, I'm making like 20 quid, 20 quid, 20 quid, 20 quid, 20 quid, 20 quid. So you can package fucking 50 boxes an hour and you've made a lot of money. In theory. What did you take on print on demand using your methods? So print on demand does work, right? Print on demand on Etsy does work. The thing is, I will say it's going to be much harder to make money because it's such a busy industry. Everyone's like, oh, POD. Everyone's like digital. But pretty much every single person that I've seen do digital for like a year or do POD for a year, they've made like 2,000-3,000 sales. And it's very low margin. It's not really that good. They haven't really made that much money, but they feel like they've done a lot because they've done 3,000 orders when they've made like fucking 10 grand profit from that. And if they put the same amount of effort into that, rather than 10 grand profit with a POD store in a year, they would have made $200,000 profit in a year with Etsy dropshipping with my methods. So that's my opinion on POD. It does work. Obviously it works. Shopify dropshipping works. Everything works, but it's you want to do the task that's the highest ROI to your time, which right now is Etsy dropshipping. Should I turn off my ads for this item with 3% click rate but no turnovers? If it's got no sales after you spent $25-$30, yeah, I would turn it off. When do you change niche on a store because of no good niche? Bro, if I spent like $100 in ads and I've made $70 in return, I'm turning it off. Opinion on 18 plus niches. Some of them have crazy views and low comp. To be honest, people get a big boner about 18 plus niches, but I've never really had a lot of success with that kind of stuff. People like seem to want to sell in them for some fucking weird gay ass reason. I know people in Etsy Kings that do succeed in them. I'm thinking of one particular guy, but yeah, I know, like, I wouldn't recommend it, bro. There's better niches out there in my experience of what I've done, right? Of what I've, bro, what do you think about eBay dropshipping? Dead, bro. Bro, why are you guys asking me fucking eBay dropshipping? Stop overcomplicating things, okay? Have you tested Etsy dropshipping? No. So why are you getting shiny object syndrome on a stream about Etsy dropshipping? It's like, I'm telling you to do it this way, and you're like, oh, but I could do it this way. I was like, bro, no. This is one thing that does infuriate me. I mean, infuriate is a big word, but this is one thing that does infuriate me. Not really, but this is one thing that does infuriate me. When people ask me a question, right? They say, oh, I can't think of an example, but when someone asks me, it happened the other day. When someone asks me a question, I tell them the answer. I spend time to type an answer to them or send a voice note, time and energy and cash, essentially, because my time's obviously worth like fucking $5 an hour, to message them. And they come back and they say, but why can't I do it this way? It's like, bruv, I just told you the fucking way to do it. Just do that. Normally what I say is literally that. I say, bro, I just told you the way to do it. You don't have to listen to me, but don't ask me questions if you're not going to listen to my fucking answer. And then if they go, no, but why? I just block them. But basically don't do that. A product with $15 spend on it, 4% click rate, but I've got no sales. What are you pricing it quite cheap? So what do you recommend? Increase price. How much is your course? If you want to join my course, my community, my program, then click the top link in the description, apply Etsy Kings. There's a couple different packages, couple different things you can do. So apply there, book in a call, and that's where you'll find out the price. Should I increase my ad spend even though I'll be losing money short term? Yes. If you're getting the return, if you're getting like a 1-to-1 ROAS, really just increase your ad spend. It's the best thing to do because you're going to get more testing, you're going to understand it. And at the end of the day, if you compare the returns you're going to get with Etsy dropshipping, even if your kind of shit's a bit mediocre, you're going to make way more money than you ever would with Shopify dropshipping. Shopify dropshipping, you'll lose $2,000 before you even figure out $2,000 before you even figure out anything. Whereas with Etsy, you'll lose maybe $200, $300 before you figured it out. Like, it's not that fucking difficult. Like, genuinely, it's not that difficult. Whereas really first world problems when my maid's not here. Do you pay ads in Etsy and how much it costs? Depends how much you want to spend, G. But it's going to cost maybe $250 to $300 to a negative to actually have like properly figured out if you're doing the correct methods. How do you diversify your stores? If you have 5 stores, should you do 1 niche per store or 5 niches on the same store? So I would do 5. I'd do 5, bro. That's what I would recommend. What are your plans to make long-term money when Etsy dies? Etsy won't die. Etsy will just morph into a different thing. So Etsy dropshipping may just decline. I don't think it will. I'm betting heavy on it. I'm betting literally hundreds of thousands on it. If not millions, to be honest. Literally millions. So I'm not really concerned by that. But bro, like I do a lot of shit. This is why it's interesting, because most of you guys don't know what I really do, I suppose. Because obviously I really only talk about like Etsy dropshipping and really only talk about like the Shopify side of things, but I have a lot of other shit. My Etsy shit's pretty fucking good. It's in a good position, so it's like it's not that hard when you reach fucking good scale. It's not that hard to just keep it going. Once you figured it out, once you got the correct methods, it's very difficult to it's very easy to just scale. So yeah, I mean, bro, I've got my shit sorted. Basically, what I'm doing is my Etsy's very good for short-term cash flow. Is it really easy to exit a store? No, it's a bit annoying to exit a store. Is it really easy to, I don't know, is it going to go for the next 25 years? Probably not, no. But will if I create a legitimate brand, like a Nike, obviously not as big as that, but as a Nike or a Gymshark or whatever, will that last, will that outlive myself? Yes. So it has immense exit opportunity. So that's what I'm doing with my Etsy income. It's pretty much 50-50. 50% goes into pumping brands, really doing that's very, very difficult, requires a lot of money, and the 50% goes back into growing the Etsy stores and making more fucking money. And at this level right now, it's literally hundreds of thousands every month. What do you think of the transferable skills from Etsy? Okay, let me list them all. So operations management, potentially even warehouse management, customer service and customer service management, photo listings, photo editing, video editing, potentially. I'd also say just pure product research. That's a complete and utter skill. I'm way better at product research than someone who's been doing it for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. A lot of the products that you find on Etsy are transferable over to Facebook and stuff with the correct skills and the correct knowledge and stuff like this. So those are a bunch of things. Copywriting, because you're writing the copy in the descriptions. Kind of even SEO as well, because again, you're writing you're writing the copy in the descriptions. What else? I mean, anyone feel free to fucking pipe up and give me any extra suggestions. Money management, technically, because you're gonna make a fuck ton of money if you do it correctly. I don't know, but to be honest, don't really worry about fucking transferable skills. There are lows, and you'll just naturally find lows, especially if it's your first online business, right? Like that's the thing, like you'll just figure out everything. But Etsy dropshipping is quite simple to make your initial sales, especially if you're following like a good fucking plan, like you've got a good fucking idea to just get going. It's really not hard. So yeah, I mean, it's not that fucking difficult, so just run it up, G. Generally speaking, what do you think would be a good amount of budget to start? Obviously, the more the better, but I mean in regards to seeing half-decent returns, see you progress with the store. $250 to $300 if you're following the correct advice. That's it, done, easy. How does the Etsy ads work? Does the money I spend on ads just come out of my revenue? Yes, so super easy. The highest revenue you got from a winning Etsy product was in all time or is in 1 day? Upwards of 450. But I'm not sure if that's correct. Somewhere in the region of like 400 to 500, maybe 375. Above 375, less than 550. That's a product been running for 2 years. So, no, not 2 years, year and a half. What's the profit margin on Etsy dropshipping with all the Etsy fees included? 25%. Some stores 50%. When does Etsy payout happen? Is it once a week? No, you can just change it to every working day, bro. Still want to be profitable and take as much out of store. $5 increase in spend. Do you recommend running ads up to 25 or with bans? Is it not worth it? I notice there's profitability cap with ads, so I don't want to waste money. I'd do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then increase based upon the 25%. every like 3-4 days, something like this. Craig, you said before it's hard to transfer customers from Etsy to Shopify. Is this false or not? Yeah, it's hard to transfer people over. Yeah. Because people on Etsy, like, you got to think about their buying mentality, okay? So they are buying from Etsy. Okay, so I run a website called mylicorice.co.uk. You guys can check it out. I'll post a link in the description. I'll post a link in the video right now. mylicorice.co.uk. Okay, so it's my website. It's my brand. I have it with a partner, but it's my fucking thing, okay? I've been running it basically full time for the past 2 years. It started like 3.5 years ago. Okay, so I'm a co-founder, but I run it basically. So it's called mylicorice.co.uk. If you're in the UK, go buy licorice. Your parents will probably love it. The mixed chocolate coated licorice is something we make basically no money on it. Super high quality chocolate, wonderful product. Mixed gourmet licorice assortment, we do make money on, and it's also a fucking sick product. And it gives you, basically, it's fucking sick. Go buy it. But something like this, right? They are buying it from mylicorice.co.uk. They're going from Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever ads we're running. They're going from there and they're buying it from mylicorice.co.uk. So when they tell people, where'd you get this licorice from? You don't say Facebook, where they actually saw it first from. They say my licorice, or I bought it from some licorice website. Whereas when you buy from Etsy, the store might be called Caitlin Minimalist or Velo Productions. They don't give a fuck about that bullshit. They bought it from Etsy, G. It's like when you buy something from Amazon, do you know the name of the store you bought it from Amazon? Because I think it's like 70% of all things on Amazon are actually marketplace stuff. So if you understand that, then you understand it's going to be very hard to transfer customers over because they don't care about you. They just care about the cool product.